we never lose hope. Fire burning, we never lose hope. Fire burning, we never.
Cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin have been exploited to support billions of dollars of illicit activity like cybercrime, tax evasion, extortion, ransomware, illicit drugs, human trafficking. This is indeed a national security issue.
I have a hope.
So, I came back and immediately had a few more days off, but I was working on a new studio. See? Kind of looks like the old one, actually. I'll give you a quick tour at the end of the video. We've actually got a lot to talk about today. Quickly catching up on a video I made 3 or 4 days ago now. I have not touched... Did that sound weird? I have not touched this chart since. Now, I have a weird relationship with TA. Between me and TA. It's not exactly a love-hate relationship, but I wouldn't exactly call it a science. I'd call it a pseudoscience, aka horoscoping for man. Except for the fact that if you follow any very successful trader in any industry, they will mostly always say that technical analysis was a very essential tool. But in crypto, things are not different, but better if it's simpler. The more simple, the more powerful it can be. So let's keep it simple. Take this trend line, for example. First drawn about a month ago, and as of yesterday, somehow predicted future trend support. Now, trend lines get broken all the time. I realize I'm swapping between cameras quite a lot here, but let's just go with it. More often than not, they will first test the line, then if it goes through, break it, and we'd have a quick drop. It happens again and again and again, and possibly again. So the takeaway from this is that traders, especially here on BitMEX, definitely do look at the charts and trade off of it. Anyway, for me right now is where things actually get very interesting. I kind of knew about 2 weeks ago that things weren't going to be very entertaining right up until around this time. So then consolidation, if not a downward trend for at least the next, 19 or so days. Now it's here. We are approaching the 10 and 20 day EMA crossing again, which since April has displayed basically a precursor pattern to a major rally for Bitcoin. Let's check how major. I'm going to try and take the median prices here. Around 30% the first time, around 50 the second, and it depends where, 40% the next, but you know, if we go up here, over 60. Now obviously I would love to see another 50% rally for Bitcoin. The obvious criticism of this theory is that, so what? So what if a cross is formed and we happen to be trading below the cross? It's not exactly the best indicator of a incoming rally, but I'm not going to fight the trend. You know what they say in crypto, and if you don't, you're about to learn, the trend is your friend. It's very difficult to try and fight it. So yeah, I would like to see this happen. Of course I would. It basically needs to at this point, because if this trend line down here is broken, I reckon chances are higher than not that we are quickly going down to the $8,000 regions. And it does need to be said that while the long-term trend is upwards, the short-term trend is most definitely down. But say we are to drop to the $8,000 region, I would be tempted to buy more Bitcoin. Now, being fully transparent, I earn the majority of my money from the occasional sponsorship, and they mostly pay in Bitcoin, which means that for me, I actually have to dollar cost average out of Bitcoin rather than into it, just in case you're interested. But I do hold Tether for some dips, so the urgency of me trading some of that back into Bitcoin gets more extreme the lower we are in the 8,000s. That is the level where there is most trading activity. There's around 20 billion, if not more, just on BitMEX alone at around these regions. $20 billion of volume. It's pretty major. And just to keep all of this in perspective, this trend line that we're seeing, that's still holding actually, would see us at new all-time highs for Bitcoin before the end of the year. It's quite good. And as for altcoins, Nothing but theories, to be honest. But we are now at the highest level we have been at for Bitcoin dominance in many a moon. Sad pun intended. Does not mean it cannot go higher from this stage though. There is a lot of room to grow if Bitcoin wants to. And I'm starting to wonder if this won't actually change until this changes, aka fresh retail investors getting caught in FOMO for projects that are overhyped, overpromising, and under-delivering. Mainly because, and this is why I say this, everyone who is currently left in crypto from 2017 either didn't get caught up in the altcoin boom cycle, sold at the right time, or got massively burned. It's basically one of those three. That's kind of difficult to recover and forget about, and especially go back into the coins that possibly burned you so hard, you know? With this in mind, isn't it any wonder that Bitcoin maximalists are so popular right now?
I don't know why I'm so popular. What the f did I do?
Anyway, some very big news for crypto, generally. US Treasury Secretary, that guy from the intro, he can spit bars, declares crypto as a national security issue. Hell yeah, it is. Now that does sound bearish in the extreme. I'm not gonna lie, of course it does. It would of course not kill Bitcoin. There are some people that would argue a US ban on Bitcoin would be good for Bitcoin. No, it would not. Anyway, further analyzing what the man had to say, we will not allow digital asset service providers to operate in the shadows. So your takeaway from this could be that as long as you're playing by the rules, crypto is allowed, and privacy coins might be an issue in future. I don't know, but by the sounds of it, a Bitcoin ban isn't coming anytime soon. Possibly. The longer they leave it, the better, to be honest. As time progresses, I think more and more people will realize that crypto isn't going anywhere, and trying to ban it is going to have some geopolitical implications, just a whole ton of implications that might not be necessarily in the US's best interests to ban. We hope so. Anyway, last piece of news is something that has major repercussions for all of crypto, a potential blow for Facebook, a draft bill posed by the US Congress, which reads, a large platform utility may not establish, maintain, or operate a digital asset that is intended to be widely used as a medium of exchange, a unit of account, store of value, or any other similar function as defined by the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. That sounds like basically every crypto going. Any large platform utility or financial institution that violates shall be subject to a fine of not more than $1 million each day of such violation. So this hasn't passed, this is just proposed. But if it was, not just a big blow for Facebook, but potentially Amazon, Google, from either creating their own coin or accepting existing crypto, as far as I understand this. It is unlikely to pass, so I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Don't worry about it.
All right. What was that? Oh, hell no.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna see you later.
And regardless, if something happens and you own Bitcoin, then it's good for Bitcoin. That's how this works. Here's an example. Anthony Pompliano, I love saying that last name. Libra is incredibly positive for Bitcoin. Okay, cool, yeah, I can see that. And when met with news that Facebook might have a major road bump in its progress to deploy Libra, speaking of the bill that we just discussed, unlikely to succeed, but this is the most bullish thing for Bitcoin I've heard in weeks. Fire emoji.
I'm never wrong. I thought I was wrong one time, but I was wrong.
Anyway, the new studio, I hope you like it. I think it's one of the sexiest offices that have ever been made. But I will no doubt get asked why. Here's why. I saw this outside my old studio. No. That thing is Australian sized. I'm not used to that here in the UK. No one is. It shouldn't be happening. I would say I have a low level of arachnophobia. I can handle a small one in the palm of my hands. That's okay. But when they get that big, I just can't even. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. It's good to be back. I'll see you again tomorrow. That's it.